Hello, my name's Kevin, this is Dirty 20 Gaming, and this is a tutorial on how to transpose your D&D 5e characters into Astral Virtual Tabletop. I say transpose for a very specific reason. As of this moment, there is no character creation software in Astral. But that's okay because there is a ton of it on the web. There's D&D Beyond, there's many other sources you can use. So, first step in putting your character into Astral is make it somewhere else. Because then you're not going to make the mistake of skipping steps and missing functionality and skills and abilities that you otherwise might miss if you don't go through the automated process. Having said that, if you're an old hand at character creation, bang one out on a piece of paper or however it is that you do it on a spreadsheet, and take it from there. But my point is, we want to transpose that information into the character sheet that already exists in Astral. Second thing, I am by no means an expert in Astral Virtual Tabletop. I just started using it a couple months ago, but it has been amazing so far and I've really enjoyed it. An addendum to that, this is not sponsored by Astral in any way, shape, or form. It's really intended for the players in an upcoming game, but I thought if anybody else could benefit, why not? So, with all of that said, let's go. The first thing that you're going to see as a player when you come into the game is this. This is your homepage. This particular one, if you see down here behind me, oh, I probably can't get out of the way. But which side is it? Over there. The name for this one is Camera. That's because this is the one that I use to when I'm streaming. This is what the viewers see, so that they don't see my Dungeon Master's homepage. So when you land in the game, this is what you're going to see. Hopefully, your Dungeon Master will have given you a character. So you'll see that over here, my new character for Camera. And all we have to do is just join the game. Once we're in, this is the actual screen that the players are going to see when they land in the upcoming dungeon crawl that we're about to run. And this right in the middle, this is my new character, is, no surprise, your new character. So click on that and then hit the space bar, and that brings up your character sheet. This is going to look really familiar to anybody that plays Dungeons and Dragons 5e. That makes sense. Why not make it look the same? A couple things are the colors. As it says up here, anything in blue you can edit. Anything in red is clickable. So these things, if you click on that button, it will roll that saving throws for you. There's a couple other things I want to mention here over on this side. You get a lot of control over your character in Astral, which is not necessarily the case in some of the other VTTs out there. But let's click this Build Character button, because this is the key thing. I'm not going to go into a huge amount of detail here, but you do need to know two things. One is this section up here is stats. This is literally your stats, not just your main 6, but if I scroll down here, you'll see charisma saves, dex saves, proficiencies, all of them. Everything that could possibly be a number on this sheet is here. And because this is a 5e sheet, there's a lot of possible stats. Don't worry about them. You don't need to know them. You just need to know that they exist. There's a thing called stats. The reason you need to know those is because down here, this is where the grit happens. Actions. This is how you get things to happen, and they're attached to points on the sheet. So there will be an action over here called Strength Saving Throw, and when I click this, that action gets engaged. So that's important, but that's all I'm going to talk about so far, and I'm only going to talk about that because there's a couple things on this sheet that I actually changed because I cannot leave well enough alone. But we'll get to that when we get to it. Let's start by actually building this character. I've got a character that like I said, I made elsewhere. And his name, let's start with that. Let's just click in here. You click to edit, and this comes up. The stat itself, in this case, it is a stat because, well, you'll see when we start to cast spells and stuff, it uses your name. It's very nice. But the character's name is Pendleton Thorntonby. Pendleton is Now, we can also change, while over here, change fonts. I particularly like Great Vibes. Maybe not. Not for this, it's too small. Okay. Let's try something interesting. Oh, there it is. Pendleton Fortenby in a Berkshire swash. Let's turn the size up a little bit here, too. Why not? Let's go for it. Let's be bold. There we go. Look at that. Pendleton Fortenby is born. Any of the things that are in blue, like I said, are you just text to add them. So let's do this real quick. Now, this is just a text box. This is a great example of another thing here, because all this does is whatever you put in here, it puts on the screen. And our little Pendleton, who is, by the way, a Kenku, is a Dark Soul Sorcerer by accident. Let's just leave all the text the same now. And we can drag it over here and recenter it, because it is just a text box. Well, I probably should have put Sorcerer there and Divine Soul under there, but whatever. Anyway, again, I'm just going to do some of this. I'm not going to fill it all out, because I just want to show you how the different things work. So anything that's a text box, just go in and change it. Now, let's leave the rest of that for now and come down here and actually put our stats in. It is as simple as putting in stats. You just click to edit there. Oops, sorry, that's the strength modifier. Click to edit there. This is a stat again. You can see it over here. So we're going to... Pendleton is not strong. In fact, Pendleton is not a lot of things. Many things Pendleton is not. But he's not strong. He is moderately dexterous. So we'll do that. And you can see it's filling in the saves and skills. It splits up the skills. So your strength-based skills are listed by strength. Your dexterity-based skills are listed by dexterity. You can take a second to find them now, because you have to remember where they are, but it means that you can see why all the ones in this block have the same number. Anyway, Constitution-wise, yeah, that's a 10. That doesn't go anywhere. Intelligence, oddly, not oddly, anybody who's ever seen me play, is his best stat. You're thinking, what? Wait a minute, he's a Divine Soul Sorcerer. His best stat should be Charisma. That would be too easy. Wisdom, quite good, because, you know, I've played low wisdom characters. It's fun, but it is the most common saving throw in the game. So I'd like to have at least some positive effect to it. And don't get me wrong, I said his intelligence was his best stat, but 14 there's not bad. So you can see it does all of this by itself. Now you can go through and change them. Because he is a sorcerer, he gets Constitution and Charisma saving throw bonuses. So right here, Constitution saving throws, we click the little diamond. Oh, because we're in character builder still. So pardon me. I knew this, but I forgot to mention it. Once you've got those in there, click Exit Character Builder. Now you come out here and you can click stuff, because now you're playing as a player again. Before you were building the character, now you're interacting with the sheet. So Constitution saving throws, that gets a click. It automatically goes up by 2. Charisma saving throws. Click that, automatically goes up. I also, because of background and all the other things I didn't really talk about, again, I'm doing sort of the fast version here. The skills I've got are Arcana. So we just click, you see here there's 2 bubbles. If we click that one, we get Proficiency. If we actually click the second one, we get Expertise. You rogues out there. Arcana History, we got that. And Nature, again, this is all exactly the same way you would do it on pretty much any other sheet. Religion, where is it? Right there. Sleight of hand and stealth. Those are going to be dex. Sleight of hand and stealth. So that's all that done. Now, again, we can go and change all the racial traits. You do have to copy and paste, but really it's not a big deal. Up here again, we can just change the numbers. So, oops, I sent it to chat because I have to go back to build character first. Now we go back to build, change the AC They're not that bad. It's a mere 12. It figures out initiative automatically based on your dex, as it should. Right down here, there is a little box. This is shielded armor class. So if you do carry a shield, you can change it anyway. AC with shields would be 14. Although he's a sorcerer and he can't really use a shield, but if he ever did, it would be 14. Hit points were at level 1, so he gets 8 plus his con mod, which is 8. Let's be fair. Or sorcerer is 6 or 8. Doesn't matter. You get whatever you get there. Temporary hit points go over there. Hit dice are right down here. Tell them which one you actually want it to be. And it will roll it when you click on it. Now, this gets us down to, we only got 3 things left, really. We're over halfway there. I'm going to show you how the attacks work. I'm going to show you how features and traits work and what I changed. And then we're going to show you spells, which go down here. So luckily enough, there's this is how the sheet comes. So there's these wonderful templates for us to use. So our divine sorcerer here, actually, the way they were originally built, they have a spear, but it doesn't matter. Let's go look in here. This is the magic. Remember, we're still in character builder here. This is what it's called. This is what shows up over here in the actions list. So melee attack, strength based. This down here you don't have to worry about. You can quite literally copy and paste this for every melee attack ever. All you ever have to change is the value of the damage there and there. So if this was a barbarian swinging an axe and it was 1d10, you would just change the 8 to a 10, the 8 to a 10. Just wanted to show you how this sits, how this looks here, and how this is a great way to just copy and paste. You can go through that and make sense of it, and it does make sense. But what I want to show you, I'm going to exit character builder now, and I'm going to hit that attack. And you know what? VTTs get separated by very small things these days. Watch this. So here's the roll. It rolled a 3, it added 1. That went poorly. If I had advantage, I clicked there. No, I rolled a 5 that time, so it really still sucks. So let's do, I want to just make one that hits. There we go. So 16 is going to hit most targets. And again, if you hover over it, you can see exactly what it did. It rolled the 1d20, it added the 2, and it subtracted 1 because of my strength. So now for damage, it does slashing damage. I click there. The 2 slashing if it was a crit. I rolled a second one there. Total of 8 damage. All these delayed rolls here, you only click the ones you need to, but all the options are there. Very similar with the finesse attack, except it's going to use my dexterity, so it's going to be a better chance. I rolled a 10 to hit if I wanted advantage. I rolled a 9, it didn't help. The damage was 7, and if I critted, 5 more. So clean and tidy and very, very nice. Okay, I'm going to show you something here because right now the default spell attack that it shows here, let's go back into build character. If I click on that, as it says here, it's using intelligence. Casters, sorcerers use charisma. So let's go in and change that. It's as simple as changing the title. That's just so I know. It doesn't do anything in the game. And then come down here, and anywhere where it says int mod, I'm just going to click there, bang, 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 and go CHA mod, charisma mod. Same thing here. And there. All right, I'm pretty sure that's correct. Get rid of there, exit that, and check. It didn't change the name. Oh, it did. You would have to change it. Yeah. All right. Anyway, it showed it over here. The spell attack is now charisma based. I rolled an 8. It added my 2 for charisma plus the that. Again, same thing for everything else. So that's how all of those work. So that's how you use actions to make fun stuff happen over here. Let's do this next. This is features and traits. So all those like level 1, level 6, get it because I'm a divine sorcerer. I get it for all that stuff. As of right now, when I click on, I go into build character and click on this, it's just a text box that says feature or trait. But I want to be able to, and here it's just a text box for the description. I want to be able to click this and have it print that ability in the chat. Easy. First thing I'm going to do is go find one here on the character sheet that I actually built. We're going to use Divine Magic. It's a pure text-based one, so that's a nice, easy one to start with. So, go to this, go to Sheet Display, and delete from Sheet. Now we finally get to build. Use the action, the bar up here. Go to Action, and click it, and it makes a new one. It makes it very small, and it puts it way down here where it's hard to see. Let's put it up where we want it first, and then go into this box. We're going to title the action Divine Magic. And then we're going to come down here and erase this lovely mess here. We're going to go over here and just copy paste right into here. So now, oops, I wasn't done yet. Then go to Sheet Display. Sheet Display. This is what you will actually see on the sheet. So call it Divine Magic again. Why did I name it twice? One goes over here in the Actions column. The Sheet Display one is what goes on the actual page. So now it says Divine Magic there. While we're here, leave this as a text box and just put the text in there too. The thing, well, you know what though? Here's why I paused, because kind of you don't want to, because it does this. All right, and you would have to, I mean, if you want to go through and break it up into sentences, that works, or just don't. Just leave that. In fact, just delete it from the sheet. The reason that it's okay to do that, because we exit character builder now. So when you see you want to see what Divine Magic does, all you do is click it, and it prints it out in chat. That easy. So it's something that would go through for everything. The next one in here is favored by the gods. They have an affinity for good. They're an expert forger. They have Kenku training. All of that stuff. Just change the title, the feature or trait name, to an action, and copy paste the text. And then it all does this. Nice and pretty and easy to read. And away we go. So that's features and traits. So now there's only one thing left. You can do all this stuff is nice and easy. It's very simple to add stuff in there. We're going to do spells. Again, I'm just going to roll this. We've seen it before. It looks exactly, let me show you. Never just show. It looks exactly the same. So the chat action, this is what actually it looks like. Big numbers down here, it doesn't matter because it's all formulaic. So let's exit this and hit example damaging spells. Let's do that. Oh, one thing you do have to do, it's done it here, the default is charisma. At the top of your casting page, you have to tell the page which one is your casting ability. It doesn't automatically go, oh, you're a sorcerer. You have to go, charisma is my casting ability, and then it will give you your spell save and your spell attack bonuses calculated from that. So here's our sample damage spell. It gives us our range, our components, and our duration. Down here, it showed our rule, just like the other one did. If you had advantage or disadvantage on the attack, you click it here. It does 3 fire damage and does extra critical damage there, and it tells you what the spell save DC is if they get a roll to defend. If it's not it does both the attack and the spell save DC. So you use the same roll, the same format for whether that spell has an attack roll or whether it has a spell save, because all that information is in the box for you. The other one is the non-damaging spell. This one is even simpler. Yep. So range, components, duration, spell description here. um, and then what it the spell save DC at the end. The other interesting one for healing spells, use the damage spell template, but it just heals instead of damages. So that's it. That's all you have to do to get the character built. Then there's the fun bit, because now we're going to go back up here. You may have noticed all this stuff along the bottom here. This is the sort of fast action bar, whatever you want to call it, hotkeys, however you want to call it, because you can actually use the keyboard buttons that match these as well to do the same thing. But you can automatically roll your initiative just by clicking this button. You could do it again by just clicking up here. But the nice thing is, if I close this character sheet, the bar is still down here. It's behind me, but it is still down here. So I can still do stuff. So for now, so we can see it, I'm going to open the character sheet again. But it's the same bar at the bottom of your character sheet that you can see here and behind where I have thoughtlessly placed myself in this particular video. So when I want to roll initiative, I just click that button and it will automatically roll an initiative for me. My initiative is 12. It did it, made the math for me. This is my melee attack. Any melee attack based on strength where I'm proficient, just click that. Same thing here. Finesse attack. I guess you can change the icons as well, but a finesse attack, this is based on your dexterity. Exactly the same. There's finally a decent roll, 21. Ranged attacks, automatically, it does it all for you. You can also drag things down here. So you can, if you have a spell as an action, you can drag that spell down here. Say they learned, why would they, or sorcerer, they learned a new spell, and or they got a spell that they always cast. Mage armor, great example. So you can actually have if we go back into here, you would have an action, which is, you go down here to the spells, and the spells are actions. So you would create a spell that is an action called Mage Armor. Then you would build it just like any other spell, and then you would come here and you would find it on this list and physically drag it over. So let's just use strength check as an example. Let's say our Kenku with a strength of 8 really thinks he's very, very strong. So let's just drag it over and put it on that button. It defaults to the first letter, which in this case is an S. And now anytime I want to make a strength check, I just click there. I just click there. I just click there. So look at that. He's lifting stuff, even though he's got a strength of 8. So you can use that action bar to do that stuff. That is it. You will have to, of course, add more of these and add more spells as you go up in levels. All right, so what we're going to do now is actually create a spell. And it's not as tough as it seems, because there's a great resource that Astral provides. astraltabletop.com official content /5ESRD actions. I'll post it in the link below, in the description below. It has all the common property versions of basic spells and abilities for the different levels of each class. So for this case, we're going to build a, we're going to do a spell. So we're going to start by calling it by it's an action. We're going to put it down here because it's going to be a first level spell, just to make this easy. Now, we're going to do, which one? Let's have a quick look. Let's do a level 1 spell. I want one that does some stuff. There we go. Let's do Burning Hands. So we're going to call this Burning Hands, because you would. And then down here, delete all of this. And are we going to have to copy and paste? No, because that's what this website does. Well, you do copy and paste, but it's all written in the same code that the website is designed to use. So when I paste it in here, this is what you see. And there's all this stuff. But when we cast it, oops, I forgot to change the name. Sheet display, Burning Hands. So now we exit Character Builder and we click this. Pendleton Fortenby holds their hands with thumbs touching and fingers spread, and a thin sheet of flame shoots forth from their outstretched fingertips. It tells you the size of the cone, how much fire damage they take, what the dex save is, what it does, and then all the additional ones are down here. Oh, I cast it at 3rd level, so there's that and that. Adds 10 more points of damage. All the stock spells are in here. Anything else, take one of these and modify it, change it. If you have any questions, contact me and we'll figure it out. But that is the biggest help that I found in making these. And again, if ever there was a reason to stay SRD, this is it when you're building characters in this game as of right now, because you can copy and paste all the spells and cantrips from level 1 to 9. And also there's not just that, because there's also all the class actions for all the classes as well. All of them, they're in there. So again, you can copy and paste them. Yeah, let's do one just to show. And again, this would never, ever, ever be a thing. But so we're just going to, again, oops, build the character. Make this go away. Add an action. Find it in the darkness. Put it up there. Change its name. Just because it's the first one on the list, we're going to have a Raging Sorcerer. Do that. And again, cut, copy, and paste into here. That easy. Go to sheet display, change the name to Rage Against the Machine, or anything else that happens to be at hand. And now, when we click Rage, in battle, Pendleton Fortenby fights with primal ferocity. And everything is here. And anything that you would need, any references are all there. So it's exactly the same thing. Nice and easy. It personalizes it for you. If there are roles to be done, they're built in. The math is all there, done for you. So, nice and simple. With that, I'm going to stop, because that's half an hour, which is about what I thought this was going to be. One thing, we have to go up here and change our hit points on the bar. 8 of 8. There we go. Oops. And so, with that, Pendleton Fortenby is as done as they're ever going to be, because I'm not going to finish them. But you can see now how this works. It's fairly straightforward. The build character is where you make changes, and then you get out of build character when you want to test them. Oh, and one more thing. For you note takers out there who have always been frustrated with that, and there's only this much space to take, to put all my features and traits and my background, that's it. That's it. I need more. Character notes. You can have headers, you can do bullet points, you can keep track of quests and check them off as you go. All kinds of wonderful and cool stuff. There's more you can do, lots more, but to play at the basic level, that's all you need. So that's where I'm going to stop in this one. Thank you, as always, for listening. I hope it helped. If it did, please leave a comment below. Again, I will post a link to that Astral Help in the description. And other than that, have fun. And until next time, as always, please be nice to each other. Goodbye.